Hey guys, Ghazzy TV here with another Path of Exile video, and I'm going to talk about the Guardian SNZ now that we have made some playtests with it, and there's a couple of changes based off my initial statement, and I'm going to talk about it real quick and then show you the leveling in action, which I think is overpowered, but let's go through it real quick. I think that the Guardian Ascendancy is still a bit lackluster on certain departments and very broken on other departments, or the sections of it, and I'm going to talk about them as I'm playing to show you the actual efficiency of leveling with a build like this. So first things first, the Guardian Sentinel Radiant Crusade, it looks like this, Sentinel of Radiance. This ability has scales with your level, however the percent of its HP that it burns does not scale with your level. It has a base radius of 45, which means that speccing into things like this with minion offensive mastery for increased AoE makes it cover quite a big area on the screen, and having convocation mastery allows you to basically run through the content as soon as you get the first lab. And all you're doing is outrunning your Sentinel, and it will teleport to you automatically. And then you will use convocation, not on left click. You want to target it specifically to use when you're entering a big pack of enemies. You don't have any other abilities that you need for the build to level through the entire campaign. So I am currently playing an SRS build, which I'm using Melee Splash, SRS, Minion Damage Unleash, and I would only cast on bosses and or harder packs of enemies that I'm bothering to kill. The rest of the gameplay, which I'm going to show you as I talk about the rest of this, is going to be just running or leap slamming and convocating. The entire 10 acts, by the way. The Unwavering Crusade, the Elemental Relic, uptime was good as expected. We assumed that this was going to be about level 20. It was not. It was instead about level 27, a little higher on the hatred, which definitely increases the efficiency of the ascendancy. The problem I still have with this is that we're in a position where the amount of builds or minion builds that are better on the Guardian than they are on Necromancers. And the problem with that is that there's so few builds that are better on the Guardian that we still haven't seen this shake up on the meta that makes the minion builds really diversify themselves between a Guardian and Necromancer, and I'm not a big fan of that personally at all. So I'm going to talk about this whilst I show you the leveling of this build. So first things first, we're in a position is that you're putting out the Sentinel, right? And all you're doing is running and convocating, which you'll see me do as I talk about this. So the Relic is really cool in general, because that gives the possibility of having certain builds become better than the Necromancer, and those builds so far that we've seen has been SRS Elemental version, as well as the Mage Skeletons. I don't think I've seen any other build be better at it. I still got to look into the Golem personally, but so far that's the only two builds that I would deem to be significantly better on the Guardian. However, the SRS build is always going to be compared with a Poison version. Now, today, at the time of this recording, we are going to be posting a full-blown written guide and a video guide coming later for the Elemental version of SRS, which is going to be competitive with the Poison version. However, it's not going to be better in my opinion. I think that it will be on par, but a little squishier with a little bit more damage. But the Poison version costs significantly more to get going, but it also brings better defenses on the higher budget, whereas it will compete on the lower budget quite well. So it's really fun to play. I'm going to be doing both the SRS version and our Guardian and the Mage Skeleton, which I already have at level 90 something. But as you can see, as I've been talking, the leveling, I'm not doing much. I'm barely using SRS. I'm just running in, and my Guardian or Sentinel is killing with the Righteous Fire, and I'm just convocating them on top of enemies. That's literally all I'm doing. That's it. This is how you level with this build. All the way till Act 10. Early stage mapping. This works as well in there. It's crazy. On the other hand, I think that this sparks up the interest or the possibility for us to look into how well this would do if you invest into minion life and only use this as your main skill of damage output, which we'll see. But I wanted to make a video to talk about the update that I have for this, and I'm going to show you the boss here as well as I'm leveling, because the initial statement is that it's quite annoying in general, and I still think so, because the way you play with this is that I have Enduring Bond, which is over here, that gives minion duration. Now, the problem with this is obviously that I am in a position where I have to resummon him quite often. The perk, however, with running this guy is that he has a 100% chance to taunt. So as you can see right now, I'm only taking no collateral damage from other sources because the boss is actually just going to hit him and he's not going to die. So that's very comfortable, but again, I think it's overpowered. But instead of just prolonging this video, I wanted to make a little bit of an update of how I feel about it and the opinions on it. The ascendancy order for most minion builds would be to get this ASAP, use this for leveling, grab the Unwavering Crusade, get the Bastion of Hope so you can get the block in there for both attacks and spells. Keep in mind that you still need to attack and cast a spell for these blocks to be in effect every 4 seconds. That's why we use Shield Charge or Leap Slam, and then use like Predator or Convocation for the spell. And the last one would be a Radiant Faith to give us extra armor. But that's about it. I just want to make a quick update on the Guardian. I think it's overpowered in the early stages, just to recap. However, if they lowered the burn percent on the early stages, I think it would be more balanced. 20% damage taken from hits taken to the Sentinel is insanely good, which means you have to summon this all the time. In my case, every 32.8 seconds, or when it dies, I have to resummon it. So it becomes a checkmark ability. And in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of checkmark abilities because I have to keep clicking them. And it's not a fun experience to have this thing that you have to click every 30 seconds to get these passive buffs. So that's my opinion on the checkmark position of it. But other than that, rest feels pretty good so far. I'm just not very happy with the checkmark, and the power lost compared to the power gained. I think that offensively was okay, and the defensive got kind of put into this annoying position because of the checkmark. But that's all I have to say. Hit the like button, subscribe for more content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, stay safe and keep rocking.